Welcome back to 66 and 26. We're in day 121. We're back in the Old Testament book of 2 Samuel today. If you remember back at the beginning of 2 Samuel, we see that Saul, the first king of Israel, has died, and David is affirmed as the king over at least part of Israel and the tribe of Judah. David is from the tribe of Judah, and all of his people have rallied around him to be king over them, but the rest of Israel is holding back just a bit. And we finally see today in the reading from 2 Samuel that now all of Israel rallies around David and he becomes king over a united Israel. He'll be the second king over a united Israel after King Saul, and will be the second to last king over a united Israel. Solomon will rule over a united kingdom, and then Israel will split. But for now, there's a unification of the nation around King David. We also see that David has success in conquering the city of Jerusalem. It had been a pagan city, a Canaanite city, still from centuries earlier, when Joshua and the people of Israel had come into the promised land. They had not fully conquered the land, and Jerusalem was one of those holdouts. And David conquered Jerusalem, took over, and then brought the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord to the city of Israel, or to the city of Jerusalem in Israel. And there's this interesting story that we see in 2 Samuel, and when the people are bringing the Ark of the Covenant into Jerusalem on a cart pulled by some oxen, then the cart slips and the ark shifts, and a man named Uzzah puts out his hand to stop the ark from falling on the ground and is killed instantly by touching the ark because of this irreverent act. It seems like it's a random thing that, isn't Uzzah just trying to help and protect the Lord's ark? But the ark should not have been carried on a cart to begin with. God had given very specific instructions many centuries earlier that any time the ark moved, it was to be carried on poles by the priests, the Levites, who carried the ark. And this was not the way it was supposed to come into Jerusalem. And so out of that irreverence, God's judgment did flash against Uzzah and others. There's some fear that began to rise up among the people of Israel because of that as well. Then in chapter 7 of 2 Samuel, we see a very important episode where David, after God has given him rest from all his enemies and he's settling in as the king over united Israel, David is committed to building a house for the Lord. He wants to build a temple for the Lord. And the Lord answers through the prophet Nathan and says, "No, you will not be the one to build me a house. I will build you a house." And by that, he doesn't mean a physical house, but he means a dynasty. He means the kingship, and that kingship will never leave David's line. Even though there will be a split in the kingdom of Israel, that there will be exile to come, still all the kings who will come from David will rule over Israel. And eventually that king will be not just in the royal line of David, but will actually be God himself when Jesus comes through the line of David. And it'll be true that one of King David's sons or descendants will always rule, because Jesus comes to that line and he is king forever.